2013 Greendale Panther football season. Tonight it's homecoming for Greendale as they will play host to the visiting New Berlin West Vikings. Last year New Berlin managed to beat Greendale at their place, so Greendale had an axe to grind this year. Greendale is coming in tonight at 5-0, while New Berlin is coming in at 2-3. The game started with New Berlin West kicking first. After the return, the Panthers would begin from their 22. Right away, Greendale went to work gashing West's defense at various areas of the field. 9 plays later, Panther quarterback Josh Ringelberg hooked up with Mitchell Breeze in the back of the end zone for the game's first points. Frankie Rakowski would split the uprights, making the score 7-0 with 8:50 left in the first quarter. After the ensuing kick, New Berlin would bring their offense out and start from their 34. 2 plays later, they made a major mistake, fumbling the ball back to the opportunistic Panther offense. That turnover didn't pay any dividends this time, only because Ringelberg was intercepted by a Viking defender on the very first play and returned to Greendale's 19. 3 plays later, Travis McKeon crossed the goal line from 2 yards out for New Berlin's first points of the game. The point after try was good, tying this game up at 7 with 7:26 left in the opening quarter of play. After the ensuing kick, the Panthers would start from their 26. They would end up having to line up for a punt on their 37 as they were looking at a 4th and 10. On the snap, Breeze, who also does the punting, would roll to his left to attempt a rugby-style punt, but changed his mind and instead decided to run. It looked a little dicey at first until he changed direction and then used his speed to get enough yards for the first down. Plays later, they would be forced to settle for a Rakowski 26-yard field goal, which was good, making the score 10-7 with 44 seconds left in the first quarter. Vikings would have to start from the 20 after Rakowski kicked it to the end zone. 2 plays later, West fumbled again, of which defensive back Jack Ringelberg would scoop up and sprint to the end zone for another Panther score. The kick was good, and just like that, Greendale was now on top 17-7 with 6 seconds still left in the first quarter. It would be the same story now as West would be starting from their 20 after Rakowski's booming kick. He would run 2 plays, taking the game into the second quarter before Breeze jumped a pass route and intercepted the ball, going 30 yards to the house. The point after try was good, and Greendale was now starting to pull away by a score of 24-7 with 11:52 left in the first half. Vikings would start with good field position after the kick. Their somewhat one-dimensional offense couldn't move the ball, so they were forced to punt going 3 and out. After the kick, Greendale would start from their 9. On the very first play, Ringelberg threw a ball in the direction of Cody Metz, who looked like he stopped for some reason, resulting in an easy interception for the Vikings. Berlin was now looking at a short field as they would begin from their 39. They would string 8 plays together before lining up for a field goal attempt from Greendale 7. That kick was no good, so the Panthers would take over on their 20. Managed to get the ball to the Viking 28 in 6 plays, but on the 7th play, Ringelberg tried an inside shovel pass that got batted around and ended up into the hands of a Viking lineman for another interception. New Berlin would now try to get something going. They ran off 9 plays before turning the ball over in downs at Greendale's 21. There was only 20 seconds left in the half, so Ringelberg just took a knee to end the first half. The Vikings would get the ball first to start the second half. After the return, they would line up on their 24. They ended up having a punt going 3 and out. Greendale would now start from their 27. 6 plays later, Ringelberg threw a pass in the direction of Metz, who torched this guy for a 41-yard touchdown reception. Rakowski would hit the uprights, but got a lucky bounce for the extra point, and Greendale was now blowing this game wide open by a score of 31-7 with 7:39 left in the third quarter. After the ensuing kick, the Vikings would begin from their 28. They could only muster up 8 plays before being forced to line up for a punt on their 47. On the snap, Greendale would bring a heavy rush and manage to block the ball, of which Chris Phillips would pick up on a gimme bounce and scamper to the end zone from 26 yards out. Rakowski missed his first extra point of the year, so that would make the score 37-7 with 3:55 left in the third. The now deflated Vikings would try to regroup as they would start from their 20. Again, they failed to get a first down as they were forced to punt going 3 and out. After the return, Greendale would start from West 44. They too failed to get a first down, and they were forced to punt for the first time of the game. That kick would sail into the end zone, so West would start from their 20. When it rains, it pours for New Berlin's third play. They fumbled again, of which Alan Dundee would recover for Greendale. There was now only 34 seconds left in the third, and Greendale was looking at a real short field. Penalties would back them up, however, and they eventually turned the ball over on downs back to West on their 20. The Vikings were just killing themselves with turnovers as they ended up fumbling for the 6th time of the game, making it real easy for Greendale. 6 plays later, Ringelberg found Ty Ramirez in the left flat, who then zigzagged his way to the end zone from 18 yards out, capping off a 40-yard drive. Rakowski made the point after, and the running clock would now begin as Greendale was up 44-7 with 5:29 left in the game. Both teams would touch the ball one more time before the game finally came to an end. The final score would be Greendale 44, New Berlin West 7. This game had a different flavor to it, for it wasn't just the offense that scored all the points. Defense scored twice, and the special team scored once for the winning effort. Even though Ringelberg had an off night with 3 interceptions, he still managed 179 through the air, going 17 for 24. New Berlin, on the other hand, turned the ball over 6 times, which is the last thing you want to do when you're playing Greendale. Their offense also seemed one-dimensional as well, which made things easier for Greendale to defend. The Panthers will now head north next week to take on the Wauwatosa West Trojans. The game is scheduled to start at 7 o'clock. Hope to see you all there. So long.